Good morning, everybody. Matt Modoc here with OddsJam, here to give you my favorite DFS plays for today. So this is being recorded early in the morning of Thursday, January 5th. A little bit of a lighter NBA slate tonight. I believe we have 3 or 4 games on the NBA tonight, so not a ton of props to choose from. Not like last night when almost every team was playing, but there are still DFS plays to make. Might just be a little bit of a lower entry size, not quite the 5 or 6 pick flex, maybe closer to 2. I have 2 for Underdog. I have 3 or 4, excuse me, on PrizePicks that I really like. So let's get right into it. Of course, the first way that I'm finding these DFS plays is on the OddsJam positive expected value page. I'm also going to be using the OddsJam screen as well, but we'll get to that in a little bit. The first play, and this is going to be specifically on Underdog, or excuse me, specifically on PrizePicks, is Jason Tatum, excuse me, over 30.5 points. So the way that PrizePicks and Underdog and these DFS companies work, as I'm sure you guys watching this are aware, you have the same exact payout no matter what plays you add. It's basically a player prop parlay, but with the same exact payout, regardless of the actual player props that you add, right? Like if you're placing a parlay on FanDuel, on DraftKings, whatever, the price is going to be different depending on the plays that you add. That's not the case for these DFS companies, right? Every single 2-leg entry, you're going to double your money. Every single 5-leg entry, you're going to 20x your money. So the value in, or I should say the strategy in finding value on these DFS companies is look for player props that the actual onshore sports books, the regulated sports books that price plays individually, find player props that they find likely to occur. So I don't mean like, you know what, I got a good feeling that Joel Embiid's going to go off tonight, so I'm going to take his over. No, I mean use the actual sports books that price odds for each play individually, tell you what player props they think are likely to hit, and then just put those into your DFS entry. It's the easiest way to be profitable in the long run. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So this first play is Jason Tatum over 30.5 points, as I mentioned. So OddsJam calculates the no vig odds of this play to be at about minus 126.5, essentially. So the way that these no vig odds work, the screen you see here, take out Monkey Knife Fight and PrizePicks. We see odds range from Caesars at minus 131 to DraftKings at minus 145 to Pinnacle at minus 150. All of them have different odds. What this means is that some sportsbooks are good at pricing odds, to say it like that. Some of them are bad. And these no vig odds, what OddsJam did was pull lines specifically from the sharp sportsbooks. So they back tested thousands of previous betting opportunities to determine what sportsbooks are consistently the best at pricing odds, are consistently the most accurate. So whenever you see like this column here, the no vig odds, you can view that as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. And once you have these no vig odds, you can also get the win percentage that these sportsbooks are assigning to a bet, right? I find this fascinating, but all odds have a win percentage associated with them. So whenever sportsbooks are pricing odds, they're just saying, hey, based on our model, our algorithm, and the money we are receiving, we think that this bet is X% likely to hit. And then they just convert those to odds. And the way you can find what the sports books view a percentage of a bet to win to be, just click this percent or this calculator here, and it pulls it up right here, 55.84. So basically, the sports books that are consistently the best in the world at pricing odds are telling you, we think that Jason Tatum has roughly a 55.84% chance of going over 30.5 points. That is likely to hit. Because we are putting this in a PrizePicks entry, we're not paying any extra juice on this one, right? The actual sports books that price this, minus 150, minus 145, minus 131, they're all pricing it heavily likely to occur, right? In sports betting, the minus dictates the favorite. The higher the number is, the bigger the favorite is. Minus 131, high number. Minus 145, high number. Minus 150, the highest of all of them. All of these sportsbooks are telling you how likely they think Jason Tatum is to go over 30.5 points. And we are not paying any extra juice on that on PrizePicks. So it's a really good PrizePicks entry to add as my first leg for my PrizePicks entry for today. Next up, we are taking Nikola Jokic to go over 26.5 points. So OddsJam calculates the no big odds of this one to be at about minus 122. If you look at the win percentage for that, it's just below 55% at 54.94. So not as likely to hit as the Jason Tatum one. Still likely to hit at just below 55%. And then again, look at where every other sportsbook is pricing this. Minus 155, minus 135, minus 125, minus 133, making it, again, the significantly likely outcome of this play. They think that he is more likely to go over 26.5 points, so they make it more expensive to buy. We are not paying for any of that juice by using PrizePicks. Another good prop. And then the last one from the EV page is going to be, this is a hockey one, Tony D'Angelo under 2.5 shots on goal. So OddsJam calculates the no big odds of this one to be at about minus 120. The win percentage of that, about 54.5%. Same thing here. Look across the board. We see a ton of odds on this one. Pinnacle, minus 141. BetOnline, minus 141. Those are two of the sharpest. So whenever I am betting player props in general, not like DFS ones, just actual, I'm placing bets on player props. I look at these two as kind of the sharp sports books to set the lines at. So if these two are in alignment and the bet that I'm placing it is an outlier to these two books, that's a good sign. Minus 141 each way, that's a good sign. And then look across the board at the rest of the sports books. Minus 140, minus 139, minus 143, all having it significantly as the likely outcome. Same thing with this NHL one as the two NBA ones, giving you three awesome plays to put in a PrizePicks entry. Then for Underdog, the one play that I had from the EV page is Markelle Fultz under 5.5 assists. So this bet has roughly a 56% chance of winning. The no big odds price it at about minus 129.5 essentially. And then same thing. This one would be good on PrizePicks. Unfortunately, it's not offered on PrizePicks. They have his prop at a different amount. But Pinnacle minus 169, BetOnline minus 154, DraftKings minus 155. Across the board, same thing, making it a very, very likely outcome that Markelle Fultz goes under 5.5 assists. And then the OddsJam screen, let me zoom in a little bit here. So the way the OddsJam screen works, it requires a little bit more work on your end. But so how it works is you pull up a market. In this case, we're looking at player points. And then it pulls up where every single sportsbook is pricing the market, or pricing this prop, basically how they are pricing this prop. And since we know we're using a DFS company, look at Underdog, look at PrizePicks, and see where one of these or both of them are an outlier compared to the rest of the market. And a perfect example of this is Paolo Banchero. So Underdog prices his point total to be at 21.5, as does Monkey Knife Fight, as does Bet Rivers. Look at every other sportsbook. They price it at 20.5, 1 point lower. Not only that, majority of sportsbooks that price it at 20.5, 1 point lower, also favor it going under. Like look at Caesars. They have the under at minus 125, the over at minus 109, favoring the under. As does DraftKings, as does Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So the sportsbook that is consistently the best at pricing odds, not only do they have it priced 1 point lower, and that 1 point is it's a bigger deal on these lower numbers, right? Like going from 20 to 21 is there's like a 5 to 10% chance that he lands at exactly 20. And not only that, but these sportsbooks think that it's likely that he goes under 20. So this is the kind of value that you can find using the OddsJam screen. So this is going to be my second play for Underdog Fantasy. Recommend locking in that two-leg entry, Banchero under 21.5 points, and then Markelle Fultz under 5.5 assists as a two-leg entry, on Underdog. And then I have a three-leg one on PrizePicks as well. And that's going to be it. So if you're tailing these, comment and let me know. Would love to hear it. But that's it. So appreciate everybody watching and have a good one.